I got to get up in my seat for this one, right? And it's the part where, and like I said, this is the start of my journey. Like I said, I'm a different person than I was yesterday, but definitely a different person I was a year or 5 years or even 10 or 20 years ago. I always put one foot in and one foot out of my spirituality. My ego, I tend to think, doing the right thing. And I can't really say doing the right thing because I've always kind of did the right thing. But I always thought converting my life into spirituality would be kind of corny. You know what I mean? How would people look at me? They would look at me like I was, like I used to look at the people who used to knock on the door, and no knock to them, but we've all had that experience where we looked at the way their spirituality took them as something that we wasn't into. So I ran from that. But man, I tell you, it's the coolest thing in the world. Now, I'm still on my journey. So you'll hear me talk crazy. You'll hear me curse from time to time. And technically, if you really, really get into your spirituality, a lot of that has nothing to do with spirituality, man. You got to remember, I come from a place and I'm going to a place. So I'm in between two worlds. The public that I'm talking to, a lot of them are in that place that I was at. So I speak the language of the people. You know what I mean? I act accordingly. Now, if I was in church or an elder's house or other people's places, I'm going to act accordingly. I'm going to speak the language of the land, which means that I generally won't swear. And I'll use a lot more ma'ams, and I'll use a lot more yes ma'ams and yes sirs and things like that. And if I'm on the block, you might hear me throw a couple of F-bombs out there. You know what I mean? It's no disrespect. It's not even me being a chameleon. I just act accordingly. But every move that I make is in the upright. That's what spirituality is. It's that your true intentions are always going to be in the upright. And even if you like, it's those things where it's times where I've done wrong and it's bothered me, man. Like it really, really hit me. Like, how could you do that? And in that, I have to go to God and ask for forgiveness. But in that, it changes me because it gives me it lets me know that I have a moral compass, a moral code. So the fact that bothered me doing that before, it makes the next time easier to not do that. You know what I mean? I don't want that bothered feeling, man. I don't want to feel like I'm doing something wrong or I'm purposely doing something, because we all do wrong. We human, you know what I mean? Nobody's an angel, and very few of us are demons, you know what I mean? But in that, act accordingly, do things for the right reasons. Everything doesn't have to be about your ego or doing it because your pride and your ego says it. It goes back to that whole thing where I say, man, don't let 5 seconds get you 52 years. Stay in the upright, man. Treat yourself right. Because I believe you can lie to yourself. Well, you definitely lie to yourself before you lie to anybody else. You tell yourself you can get away with something. You tell somebody else a lie, but in your head, you've lied to yourself. You've made yourself believe that you can get over on that person. And here's the best thing. My intuition is on lock. Like, I'll sit around people who lie, look them right in their eyes, and won't correct them. And I'll do that for a myriad of reasons. But the main ones is, if you tell a liar they're lying, they get better at lying. No, just observe, chill. Because I always say, I think Charlemagne the God had the best statement. Nobody cares about the truth if the lie is entertaining. See, sometimes I'm entertained by the lie. Tell it. I know that you lied to yourself before you thought you could lie to me, but you're not lying to me. I'm just entertained at what I'm seeing at you thinking that you're doing this. You know what I mean? That's the craziest part about it, is people go a whole, how they say, when you do something and you get away with it, you think you can do it all the time, so you keep doing it. Well, don't correct that person. Watch them. Just do what they do. And the best thing that I say is, I leave people right where they got me fucked up at. I can hear the lie, but once you start lying to me where you're taking or you're trying to manipulate me, I ain't gonna argue with you. I've watched it. And that moment where I leave you right where you got me fucked up at, there is no debate. There is no conversation. There is nothing you can say to me. I've let you overstate the way you're going to come at me. So when I distance myself from you and bid you peace, no turning back around, I'm overly sure that I don't want to mess with you no more. I'm overly sure that you don't have to be in my life. And I don't have to scream at you. It goes back to that calmness. You know, people want you to act out. Don't give them that joy, man. Once you've made up your mind to do something, stay in that stubborn way of, I know what I've seen. I know what I don't want. I bid you peace. Now, on that note, I bid you peace, man. Thank you. Sending healing energy to everybody. Y'all have a wonderful day. Peace.